everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I'm here today because it is Thursday, which means it's BookList Thursday. This is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book talk, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. I don't think I did it right, but we'll go with it. Anyways, so today is our 5-star predictions follow-up. So this is something we have been doing every other month. We usually team up with another YouTuber. We pick 3 books we think are going to be 5 stars. We read them and we tell you what you think. So for this round, we teamed up with Kelsi over at Essentially Booked. Highly recommend you go and check out her channel. She's fantastic. Absolutely love her content. Absolutely love the books that she reads. It's all great. So the books that we picked for this round, I think we said needed to be backlist books. I should have looked that up before I started this. I feel like it had to be backlist books. So I picked 3 of them that I've had and been wanting to read for quite some time. One of them was a Christmas book exchange book, and so I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Oh, this was good. It didn't quite, I wasn't sobbing on the floor like some people told me I might be. I mean, there's definitely some feelings and some sadness about it, but not quite sobbing. But I don't cry at a lot of books. So this is a pretty short story, I would say middle grade, following our main character, Connor. And he ends up kind of befriending this tree who comes to life at the time in Connor's life that he really kind of needs somebody. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to give it really away. It says an extraordinary novel of love, loss, and hope. So there's definitely some loss in here. Connor is going through definitely a horrible time as a kid and just wants the truth and wants to know what's happening. So Monster Calls, I gave this 5 stars. It was fantastic. I loved it. Highly recommend. Next book I picked up was Razorblade Tears, but this is by S.A. Cosby, and this is one that's been on my shelves as a book of the month book I got quite a while ago. And I've been collecting S.A. Cosby books and I haven't read anything by him yet. So this was my first one. So this follows 2 fathers who are, as opposite and different as you could possibly be. Not only by race, occupation, beliefs, life experiences, they are so very different. And they are kind of forced to join forces. Their sons were brutally murdered and the case isn't really getting any traction. And so they take it upon themselves that they're going to solve this. They're going to figure out what happened to their sons no matter what. This also covers a lot of grief. This covers a lot of healing. This is a brutal book. Who S.A. Cosby can write a messy scene. But overall, I couldn't stop reading it. It was so fantastic. 5 stars. I loved this and cannot wait to pick up another book by S.A. Cosby, which I'm pretty sure I have, Blacktop Wasteland. I thought it was right here, but it is not. Oh, it is right here. Oh, I knew it. I know where my books are. Wouldn't mind picking this up sooner rather than later. Yeah, he's gonna probably be a favorite author before you know it. And then the last book I read, and oh, I love that book so much I already loaned it out to a friend. Already gave it to her and was like, you need to read this, you're gonna love it. It's all kinds of messed up and it's great. Next one I picked up was 4 Treasures of the Sky by, we'll call her Jenny. So this, super interesting. This was, Krista had talked about this quite a bit and I just had to get my hands on a copy. It is a debut novel by Jenny, which blows my mind that this is her debut novel. She is beyond talented. It's set against the Chinese Exclusion Act that I didn't even know was a thing. But, as Americans can be Americans, we decided to not allow basically Chinese women to immigrate and eventually Chinese to immigrate to the United States anymore. This follows our main character, Dayu is how I was saying her name. I could be wrong. She gosh, she has such a sad life. Let me make sure I'm not spoiling anything. It calls her a tragic heroine. She's absolutely a tragic heroine. She is kidnapped and smuggled across the ocean from China to America. She has to give up her home, her future, her friends, her family, everything that she ever thought she had, and strictly survive. She starts out in a calligraphy school in China, ends up at a San Francisco brothel, works at a shop tucked in the Idaho mountains, faces so many heartaches and discrimination and hatred. Oh, my heart just goes out for her, and her key focus is just on survival. I gave this 4 stars. There were parts of this book that were a little too fantastical. I really just wanted a standard historical fiction, but there were parts of this book where there was this other character that would show up that I wasn't sure if this was a ghost or a spirit or like in her mind or her defense mechanism. I don't know. I couldn't really make sense out of it. I don't know. I didn't like that portion of the book. I think it was just fine without that portion of the book. But I mean, minor. I didn't hate it because it was there. It was just like, I don't know, it distracted me from the rest of it. This author, the whole premise is based on a historical marker that she saw when she was with her family. And I can tell you where. They were in Pierce, Idaho, and she saw a marker referencing a Chinese hanging. It described the story of how 5 Chinese men were hanged by vigilantes for the alleged murder of a local white store owner. And nothing else, like no other anything. So she just kind of fell down this rabbit hole of figuring this out and wrote this historical fiction based upon her seeing that, which I thought was really cool. Anyways, I give this 4 stars. Still highly recommend if you are a historical fiction fan. Would absolutely pick it up and read it. Yeah, 4 stars is not bad. But not quite the 5-star prediction I had it to be. So not too bad. 2 5 stars, 1 4-star. Not a bad round at all. Head over to Kelsi and Sarah's channel and see what they thought of their 5-star predictions. I'll leave links to all of that stuff below if you're interested. Otherwise, let me know if you've read any of these and we can chat about them in the comments. I love talking about books in the comments. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye.